Hello, I am wa-shay-la Sananda, and it is my pleasure today to get to interview an amazing man, Sergi Aynó. And he is someone that I met when I did my Alchemy of Ascension Summit recently. And we began a series of conversations after that. And Sergi has an amazing story to share with you. And part of it is just that his heart is so big. So as soon as I met Sergi, I knew that he's someone that is here to support humanity and to support the ascension process. And if you know my work, I'm an ascension trainer. That is my mission, and I really feel that alignment with Sergi. So I know that this message is for humanity. And so his experience is similar to mine in that I have been contacted and visited by higher dimensional beings. I'm a star seed, as so many of us are here now. Higher dimensional beings that we'll say some people can see and some people don't see, but that's been going on since my earliest childhood memories. And so Sergi shared with me that he had an experience a couple of years ago where he was visited by the Lion Star people. These are beings from Lyra, the Lyran star system. And he was at the time breatharian. So he was not eating food, and he was not probably not even drinking water. I'll let him share more about that, for a month and a half when this happened. And I think that's very important because when we commit so deeply to a spiritual path and a spiritual opening, amazing things can happen. And Sergi is a testimony to that. So with no further ado, let me introduce you to Sergi. Welcome, Sergi.
Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity.
It's my pleasure. I'm so happy. And I'm excited because while you've shared this before, your experience before in Spanish, this is your first sharing of it in English. So everybody knows Sergi is from Barcelona, Spain, and obviously Spanish is your first language, but I feel very honored that this is your first English interview. So thank you so much for sharing with us today.
Thank you. Thank you. It is really a pleasure and the responsibility, because when I met these four beautiful beings, they asked me if I was willing to contribute to help them to deliver a message for humanity, and I said yes. And I was 2 years in silence. I was not. I didn't have the courage, I have to say, to be seen as a contactee. But through all the things that are going on planet Earth now, I felt bad inside, like I was not coming from a space of integrity, and I was not being honest. And after 2 weeks of a lot of conflict inside, and I had another transmission with them, and things started getting in place. And you come into the picture because you have been the first person that offered to deliver these, and thank you
Yeah.
so much.
Yeah, well, so I want to just, before we get into the transmission, so I understand Sergi's been receiving transmissions over the 2 years. Will you explain how this originally happened? Who exactly is it that showed up to you? What did they look like? Did they show up in the physical body, or was it a meditation? Can you explain to us what your first
Yeah.
encounter was like with them?
At that time, as you said, I was living on light. I did a process of 21 days, and then I went through all that. That I can say that was one of the most amazing things I did in my life, and I have done a lot of them. And at the end, I was 6 months without eating. And 1 month and a half, when I started not ingesting solid food, sometimes I was drinking, but it's weird because I didn't have the need to drink. It was more I was missing the lack of taste in my mouth. And I used to drink some miso soup because the salty part of it really relaxed that need for taste. And I was drinking water, but not too much. And I understood that just living on prana, you get the food, the nutrition, and the hydration also. That was weird. And one day I was in the shower in the morning, and all of a sudden I felt inside my body like my whole body was shaking, but shaking in a very weird way, like vibrating. And then I switched off the water because I really wanted to make sure if my body was moving. My body was not moving, it was all inside. But it was like trembling. It was a very strange feeling. And then my higher self said, dry yourself, go up to the terrace and have the sun on your skin. I did that. I went up here, the terrace is here where it happened. And then I took a chair and I was just breathing the sunlight, breathing the sunlight. And all of the sudden, it's like the shaking, the vibration, it amplified for 3-4 seconds, like, and then I could feel this calmness. But at the same time, my energy body was amplifying so much. It was weird. It was a little dizzy at the same time. And I could feel, I was with my eyes closed, and I could feel on my sides, right and left, there was somebody there. And then I opened my eyes and I see these huge solar angels. But the angels disappeared, and in front of me there is these four beings. And when I say that I saw them physically. It was not in my imagination or my inner vision. They were there. I was so impacted. I was not ready for that experience. And then, but at the same time, I have to say there was no fear. I didn't experience fear, but it was a huge impression. And then I said very quickly, I said, thank you very much, but I'm not ready for this. And they stepped back, they bow and disappeared. And then I went inside the house. I was telling the people inside the house what happened. It was I called the woman who helped me to do through the process of not eating solid, and she told me several things that it helped me to calm down, and then a month and 3 weeks, almost 2 months later, I was on the sofa downstairs and I was lying down. I was awake, and all of a sudden I felt an urge to take pen and paper, go to the terrace, took a chair, go to the terrace, pen and paper, and then I said, yes, now it's the moment, I'm ready. But it was weird because there was not a thought process there. It was like, it was instinct. It was, and I found myself out there. I said, now it's the time. I closed my eyes. It was sunny. I would start breathing the sunlight and hear the two angels, solar angels, and the four beings in front of me again.
Oh, so you saw them physically again. They
Yes,
came physically.
twice. The first time and the second one. Since then, in all the transmissions, it's telepathic. I don't see them. I sense them.
Yeah. Can
But
I
I
ask
cannot.
you, I'm sorry to interrupt. Can I ask you, what did they look like physically? What did they look like? Like, what would you describe them? What color were they? And what did their features look like?
They're very peculiar because they're very tall, almost 3 meters, maybe, almost 3 meters. They're humanoid. They are like humans standing up, but the head, they're lion.
Mhm.
It's like the lion we know on Earth, the head, but there are some features, I would say the way they look at you, it's very human.
Mhm.
It's not love. And the way they look at you is so much full of love and presence. And I can say that when you are in their presence, any fear dissolves. It's like you feel like I don't know how you say that in English, like in a cocoon or in a yeah, in a dome of love and presence, and it seems that the rest of the world disappear. I think I enter like in another reality.
Yeah, I completely understand what you're saying about, because when I'm visited, I also feel that vibration, and it isn't really, it's not from the outside. It's like it's vibrating from within. It's a frequency shift. And what I think happens is we physically are at a lower vibration, so they have to raise our vibration so that our consciousness can rise up to meet theirs, and they're bringing theirs down to meet ours because they're a higher frequency being. And so we're meeting in the middle, and then we're able to see them. So maybe somebody else that was there with you wouldn't even be able to see them because you've moved up in your dimensional experience, and the dimensions are layered on top of each other. They're actually all right here. If we can raise our frequency to meet them, then we can have that interface, that interaction. So I find that fascinating that
Yeah,
they physically came to you as the lion beings that they are, and you felt their love in a cocoon around you, embracing you and holding you, and then they were able to transmit. Was it telepathically that you felt you were receiving, and then you felt to write down what they were sharing with you telepathically, or did they
yeah.
speak it?
I did. You couldn't see the mouth moving. It was like thought
Mm-hmm.
being transferred. But I could say it's more than thought because at some point they send me like pictures, and you see one of these pictures and it's like a package of information, and then it takes days sometimes to open the whole thing and to understand it logically, to make
Mm-hmm.
sense of that, right? And in the transmissions, yes, it's telepathic. And now I'm using a recorder because I'm not that quick writing. And then when I record, it's just I open my mouth and the things are coming out.
Yes, perfect. I get that too. I like to say when I receive a download like that, it's for me, it's like in a bubble. And I feel like I'm reading the bubble, and it's thoughts and words and ideas and images, and then I have to my mind tries to make sense of it all. And for me, the writing really helps to make it linear and logical so that we can understand what this download contains. It sounds like it's a similar type of experience where you, when you speak it or write it, you just feel it coming through, and then you get the transmission. I like that word for it, the
Mhm.
transmission.
That word came from them
Yeah, that makes
because
sense.
at one point I said because sometimes we can go into conversation,
Hmm.
not that much, but if I have doubts, or I can ask questions and I receive an answer. And I said the channeling, and they said no.
Not
This is a
channeling.
they said this is a transmission. It says okay. I'm gonna use because I want to be very loyal and very neutral, and on the way I'm writing. What happens is when I record and I uh, write down on paper on the computer later when I listen to it, sometimes there are gaps where they use that moment to put more information.
Mm, yeah.
And it doesn't happen always, but sometimes I see like stopping and opening the channel again and writing and keep
Yeah.
transcribing the recording.
Beautiful. Well, thank you for clarifying your experience, because I know that's going to be a little hard to grasp for some people, but
Mm,
I feel so delighted to get to share in this, because I have had those experiences both with beings showing up physically and with beings showing up in my mind's eye. And something else that I've been able to experience is when one time I had 12 beings come to me at once, and they really scared me. They scared me a lot. It was in the night, and I freaked out and said, go away, but then the next day I felt like I missed something, and I called one to come back and meditate and come to me in my mind's eye. And it did. And I meditated and I received what I needed from that being. And I said, please don't send 12 at night. That scares me. And they never did that again. Then once you make that connection, you
mm,
have that connection, so you can receive it telepathically. I think sometimes they show themselves to you that first time just so you know that they're attempting to make a communication, and then
mm.
you get their frequency and you understand their frequency, and then the next time you're like, okay, now I understand what we're doing here. Is that
Mm.
how it feels to you?
Yeah, I feel that the first contact was in March 21st in 2018, but now I know that they have been preparing me for a long time before through my dreams.
Mm.
Because now it's like memories are start opening up. It's like, well, I know that, and I have a notebook that I write my dreams sometimes, and I remember like 3 years ago, before that happened, I had a dream with a huge lion talking to me,
Wow.
and it was thanks God that I wrote, wrote that down on my notebook, because it's like connecting all the dots. It's amazing.
Yeah, and don't you think, I mean, I'm sure you're familiar with star seeds, the idea that we have our consciousness, many of us, has come from other star systems.
Yeah.
So it would be likely to me, you could tell me what you think, that your consciousness is one of these lion beings, probably came from Lyra, at least partially, and this was probably something you agreed to before you even incarnated here, so that
Mm.
you could share this information from your home star or your starseed planet, and get this information to the humans to help assist in this time. Do you think that's
I
right?
asked them. I asked them because I don't feel I am one of them. And I asked them, I am one of you? And they said, no, but and they can have a lot of sense of humor, these beings. And they said, no, but remember the good times that we had on the spaceships. And then they sent me holographic pictures, and I saw myself in a different body, but I could know that I was myself, co-working with them in other planets that I don't know where they are. And it's like, oh my God. And then all these memories of it, it's familiar. This familiarity of the energy, it's not strange. I feel comfortable. I know it's weird, but it's what it is. It feels, I know them.
Yeah, it's not the first time you've met. Like
No,
old
no.
friends, one way or
Yeah,
another, right?
it feels that way.
Yeah.
And so much love. And I want to say, I never felt pushed. Um, in September, in my personal life, I went through two very traumatic experiences, and I stopped the transmissions, and I was afraid that they would leave. That I was afraid that I was not a good candidate for them to. And no, there is no judgment, and they said we are here always. It's like,
Mm.
and it's amazing. It's good. And in the transmission number 30 that happened in March 20th, they gave a transmission. It's a message for humanity, for the times that we are going through. And I would like, if it's okay for you, that I give to the audience, because it's not, I want to say this program is not about me, it's about the message. I'm just uh, I don't know how to say in English, but
Messenger.
yeah, the messenger. Yeah.
Yeah, I would love for you to share that. And I'd also like to say, while people are receiving it, know that the words are the words, but they contain encoded information. So as the words are shared, just really tune in to Sergi with your heart and just be open to the transmission that's available through receiving. So it's more than the words. The words are the sounds, but there's so much more going on, right?
Um, I have a question for you now. Do you want me to read it or just to I explain?
What feels better to you?
If I read it, it's just how I heard it.
Okay, does
But
it feel, which way feels more accurate? Does it feel more accurate to you to read it or to explain it?
I can explain it because if not, it will be maybe too long.
We have time, so I want you to
Yeah.
go with what feels
Okay.
best to you. Okay?
Because I'm new with this, it's like I haven't done this before, and
Uh-huh.
then it like um the, the day that this happened, they present themselves as seven of them, and they said that the 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 message is to help humanity to navigate in these times of transformation. They said that we have entered a doorway, a portal of change. The change is real, is happening, and life on earth will never will be the same that we knew before. This is serious, it's really changing. And they want to offer from their love and their connection to they have a purpose, a divine and cosmic galactic purpose also, because they see us like cousins from the cosmos. They know us from the very beginning, and they want to support, they want to help. um, they they gave like seven, they call pillars or points that we can focus on during this time of transformation. The one is stay calm and grounded. They said that a lot of humans love nature, but we still don't know how to benefit, how to connect energetically to the planet. And the idea of grounding, it's really um, making a connection from our heart to the center of the planet, and vibrating and connecting with the like a crystalline bed that there is down there, because these crystals down on earth are receiving the high frequencies that are coming from the cosmos. And the best way to assimilate, to digest these new frequencies is by connecting to the earth, because the earth already know how to process this new energy. It will be much easier for us to digest all of this. And this is why they said to be calm and grounded, it's important that we do meditation. And also they said important to do creative things, because sometimes we have creative ideas, but at the end we don't do it because we may think that other people will do better than us, or why doing it? Why invest all the time? And they said you need to be creative now, because you may gonna create things that you are not gonna use, but other people, when you put it up there in the unified field of consciousness, other people can use that because we are so connected to each other, right? And the part of creativity, it was important also. The second point, they said, connect from your light to the light of others. Even we are in our homes, we need to be connected from the heart. They said, please visualize, imagine that there is like cords, like lines of golden light coming from your heart, connecting to your friends, connecting to people at the other side of the planet. It's like creating this platform of love and connection. They said, like, talk and talk with people that you love, people that they see and recognize your vibration, your frequency as a soul. It's very important. They said that there is a moment where we will feel like, they don't say separation, but there is a shift of people that they're going to live our lives. I'm not saying that they're going to die physically, but it's like there is the moment of uniting with our tribes, with our groups as a soul families, and we need to honor that. And to honor that, we need to allow ourselves to shine our light, to be able to recognize each other, right? And look what happened to me. I had the courage to tell you my story, and here I am talking to all these people about this. And from here, other people are going to feel the resonance and will connect with this information, right? And in this way, we are creating this platform, this web of connection. And the third one is to stay strong in your physical body. They said that it's very interesting, and that was a very personal message for me also. It's like a lot of light workers or star seeds, we work a lot with the heart, the throat, the upper chakras, but we forget the first, second, and third chakra, and we need to really do work down there. And they said, eat healthy, breathe pure air, and they really emphasize about having a conscious relationship with the sun. Talk to the sun. Is the solar logos is there to provide a lot of information that we are ready to assimilate. They said all the things you need for this transition, you have all these things inside within all of you. Stop looking outside. And we are connected to the sun more than we can imagine, and it's time to have a conscious relationship with that. And also they talk about eating less, eating more, you say mindfully or more consciously, right? And they said to program water. It's like when we have a glass of water in our hands, they said that because we are receiving all these high frequencies, we are so powerful right now. It's like the power is here, it's tangible, and we need to use our magic, our power, because with our intention, we can create new realities, and it can be quick. And they said water is very important, to drink the most pure water possible. And then take a glass of water in your hands, and you can program the water from the intention that you want. And make sure that this intention is in coherence with the universal laws of light, of love, and peace and harmony. And that means that it's more about serving others. And serving others means also serving yourself. You include in humanity, right? It's not only for others, but you include yourself. But we need to start, I don't know in English that word, depersonalizing, like not making things that much personal, me, my thing, because we are entering in a new dimension where we are going to be able to see each other as aspects of ourselves, and this recognition to unify as a cosmic or galactic family and universal family also. And what else is, yeah, the water. And they said something about that, about sexuality. They said that it's very important that we bring soul and heart in our sexual relationships. because when we have sex, we generate like batteries a very strong vibration around our field, but now this is very, very high volume, and it's very important that we need to go beyond just the physical sensation of pleasure. There's nothing wrong with pleasure, but we need to make sure that we put the heart and the soul, because with the other person, we can help each other to remember our cosmic plan, our life purpose, and why we are together. That it's beyond what we think, right?
Mm. Oh my gosh, I love that. I want to just comment for a moment here
Yes,
before you go
sure.
on. That's something I have been seeing so much is the just what potential we have with sacred sexuality. It can, there's a physical act, and that is nothing to do with what's actually possible, in that, like, there's this expansion and this like unity and this connection to the divine that you can open up into. So to start viewing our sacred sexuality and that type of union with all that is, and expand, there's an opportunity to expand consciousness in that. I've very much been getting that message, and you don't have to have a partner for that. And again, it doesn't even have to be sexual, but that feeling of passion in the first center, in the base of your spine, and like allowing that to generate up, that's the kundalini rising, and to unify
Yeah,
with the whole. There's so much power. And then when you can do that and then bring that in with, if you have a partner, there's a lot of opportunity there. And just also want to comment on the sun. I've been sun gazing regularly, morning and evening, sunrise and sunset, for a while now. And the sun has started to communicate with me. I really do feel like I have a
yeah,
communication and get downloads, and that's possible. Everything we're talking about is possible for everyone. We're sharing
yeah,
this to
yeah.
help all of you. This isn't like Sergi and I have special powers or experiences. This is,
No,
we're sharing this so that everybody knows these are the things that are possible, you guys, when you practice opening up and getting into union with our multidimensional selves. We can all do this, and it's powerful. And it starts with the sun. Just walk out your door in the morning at sunrise and sunset, program your water, drink it with consciousness. I have Reiki symbol stickers on my water filter, so I feel like it's always getting that. But then also, yes, just consciously bringing that intention in, how powerful. And your food too, if you're eating food, to program that with your intentions, and then we're creating this reality together. So I just, everything you're sharing is just opening up my heart, and I just love it so much. So thank you. And let's continue. What is there more that they had to share with you that you'd like to
yes.
share with us?
And I want to say that it's not, this message is not about believing. You don't have to believe nothing about this, but it's an invitation for practice to start having an experience. And through your experience, you will arrive to your own conclusions, and then you will have your own wisdom activated through the experiences, right? It's not about believing or convincing anybody about this. It's just sharing the experience and the message, right?
Absolutely. And that's right. Just open to receive what feels good to you, and
Yes,
and
of
then
course.
see how it lands. Yeah.
Yes. The fourth point, they talk about gratitude, how important for us is to practice gratitude. Gratitude for the good things that we have in life, for the people that we love, for the negative things that we have in life, because thanks to those, we can evolve quicker and to be ready for the shift. It's like they didn't talk about victim role, but I understood about we need to let go of the victim role here. And when we've had negative,
Yeah. To victimization. Yeah.
yeah,
To release being the victim,
yeah,
and understand
Yeah,
ourselves as the
yes.
cause and the
Especially for the
creator.
negative things that we experience,
Mhm.
no? And really focus on the gift behind those things, because the divine plan, they say always, it's perfect. And we have created those. And it's time to take responsibility for everything, right?
Mhm.
And they said also the importance to express our gratitude to all the indigenous people of the planet. They said indigenous people of the planet, they have a straight, direct connection to star families in the cosmos. And they have been until now the keepers to save the planet. We need to go back to these people and to really say thank you from the deep part of our hearts, because thanks to them, we are still alive here. They said to express gratitude to the animals, to the oceans, to the forest, to the trees, to the crystals, to the stars, to the sun, because animals, they said animals have a very profound, a special purpose helping humanity. And, and they know that they are on a purpose, on a mission here. And humans, we have ignored this universal law. And it's time to look at them as people. Of course, I relate to my cat as a person.
Mhm.
It's a non-human person, of course, is a cat, but is a person. And if we can go beyond that limiting belief and saying is an animal, and then there is so much gift because they know our purpose and they are helping us every day. Also, wild animals. You
Mhm.
know, it's like we need to break this. Um, the other day, I discovered something, and my intuition was telling me, but they said that every animal, every species of animal on planet Earth is a micro representation of a cosmic civilization up there.
Wow. Yeah, I can see that. That's amazing. But yes. Even the insects, even the insects.
Yes, yes.
Mhm.
There is a reason, there is a plan why they are here.
Yeah, that's incredible information. And I'm just thinking about, like I have a lot of experiences with birds. I love cats too. I have two cats of my own, and my daughter's home from college right now, because her college is closed with her two cats. So I have a house full of four cats right now. And they're just so conscious and
Yeah.
interactive. But the I was visited by over the last few weeks cardinals. The red bird, the red bird, the cardinal, has
Mhm.
been following me, not just one, but everywhere I go. I'll have one swoop in front of my car. If I'm walking, one will come and land next to me. And so I feel like the cardinals have something to share.
Yeah.
But if we're tuned in, with the animals, they all have a message. All the animals can communicate, just like the sun, the moon, the stars, all of the beings on the earth have messages for us if we're willing to be open to receiving them. So for anybody that's experiencing being, repeatedly visited by a certain type of bird or animal when you walk out of your house or go somewhere, just pay attention. They probably have messages for you.
Yes. And also they mention beside animals the elementals,
Mm.
because the elementals are playing a very crucial role on building the new foundation on how to live and how to communicate and be in nature now on.
Mm.
They are working very consciously, very hard on helping us to establish this new way of relating with with nature, with Mother Nature, um, in the next dimension that we are moving on.
Wow.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this. Do you know how, have you seen the movie about the orbs, the little orbs that people feel like are our consciousness, or like when you take a picture and the
Yes.
orbs
Yeah.
show up?
Yeah.
I've had a lot of people sending me pictures of these orbs lately that they catch on film. Do you feel like those are possibly elementals communicating?
I don't know. It could be. I met somebody who they are doing research in Brazil very, very carefully about those. And when I talked to this man, he said that they are like high consciousness helping, preparing us for the next phase for humanity and the new life on planet Earth. I haven't investigated or done any research on that, but I have pictures of myself with all these orbs, but I don't know.
The fairy people hanging out with you when we're sometimes we're aware and sometimes we're not, right? Yeah.
And the fifth point was connecting heaven and earth. They suggest to visualize like big columns of pillars of light connecting from the center of the planet straight to source, and make sure that we in our visualization, in our imagination, um, make the energy running up and down. It's like connecting source to the core of the planet, from the core of the planet up, because in this way we are like helping to create these highways where energies of high frequency can more easily can be downloaded and come down here. And I ask when this happened, but can we open these to negative energies also? Because, and they said, we are very, very looking for things that are happening there. In fact, they said right now in the astral plane, there is a battle
Mm.
between the light and the dark forces. They said, and this is the next point, they said, make sure to clear from your field energy of resentment, anger, and fear. They said it's true that there is a battle between light and darkness. And when I had that transmission, I sort of became nervous. But it was something I had to clear inside myself. And they said, if you really want to ascend to 5D, you need to integrate the two parts.
Mm.
It's like you cannot shift to 5D holding a package of resentment or anger, or you need to open your heart and embrace every experience you have, because it's all asking about yourself. They said when you see like an action or something coming from the dark side, you can look and say, thank you, because you're playing your part and you're giving me more courage, more strength to do my light work. And it does.
Mm, that's
And
beautiful.
I started practicing this with the chemtrails, because sometimes here we can have a lot of them. And I was feeling angry and I don't, and I'm practicing. And when I see them, oh, thank you, because I have more courage to open to the world and give this message of the lion people. And it's like now I am really understanding
Mm.
that. mm, and in 5D we cannot be in conflict with the polarity, the duality. It's going to dissolve, right?
Yeah.
Because it's the integration of the two of them. Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like what you said there about that battle between the light and the dark, that is also the human battle which goes on within
Of
every
course,
human, right? And
of course.
something that as above so below. So when we do that work, when we do our personal work of clearing out that resentment, the baggage, the victimization, the negativity, we're actually clearing that for the whole. When we do that personal work, it's for so much more than ourselves. It's never selfish to do your personal work, because us clearing it is also clearing it on the astral plane, I feel.
Yes.
And I think that's what they're
Yes.
speaking into. Just clear it, keep clearing it. Yeah, that's
Yes.
excellent.
And the last point, they talk about unconditional love and loving kindness. They said that really needs to be a spiritual practice for all of us. In this time that we are at home, confined here, and people, sometimes we can get irritable or reactive. And
Mhm.
they said, right now, it's the time to practice to be patient with yourself, patient with others, see to who you can help, see how you can use kind words to people that they're having a bad day or they are in fear. It's really opening the heart. It's like the power of love, put it in action. It's really, now it's the moment to act from that space in a practical way. And the first thing is to be patient with ourselves,
Mhm.
be kind to ourselves, because then we develop this sense of compassion and we understand compassion from the experience inside. And then we open up to love. We can fill up with so much love that is available for us, and then we this love overflows, and we have so much love to give. And this is why what you said, it's very, very important, because if we want to ascend, if we want a new life on earth, we need to do this internal work. Yes or yes, there is no other option.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that.
And this is the 7 steps or points that they offered. And
Yeah.
I'm excited because they're
Wonderful.
there in English now. I'm sorry because my English is not that excellent, but I think it's enough for
Oh
the
yeah,
message.
you did great, Sergi. Your English is excellent. Don't worry about that at all. I don't think anyone will have any trouble understanding.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, wonderful. So, is there anything else that you want to share about that experience, or that you think people should know?
Um, what I can say is that they told me, I asked them many things. And one of the things I asked them, how about children in all this change? And they said, you need to talk to your children about the changes that they're seeing out there. Because these children, they knew before they came here that all this would happen. And
Mm,
do not hide anything. Tell them that the old paradigm, the way humans we used to function, it didn't work anymore, and we are preparing for a new thing. And encourage the children to be creative and to ask them, how do you picture a better world, and do drawings and read, because through this they're bringing, downloading the
mm.
blueprint, and that we are um, supporting them, we are helping them to do their mission, because they have the keys, they have the codes for our future.
Wow, beautiful. That right there, I just want to send out to all parents and teachers. If you're running online classes, you have an opportunity here ask the kids, how do you see the new earth? How do you see, what would you like to create when we're out of quarantine, and how beautiful could it be, and help them channel their vision in creativity, and even do, projects and artwork around it. That's a great opportunity to help them remember those codes. I love that. Thank you.
Yes, yes, that's very important. Yeah.
Yeah, and we can all do it ourselves as well. I mean, I think now's the time. I just saw yesterday there was a video sent to me. It was done by Bruce Lipton and a couple other people, but they were sending out a request for everyone to meditate at 11 o'clock a.m., 11 p.m., wherever you are, and visualize the new earth, visualize the garden, visualize love and connectedness and community and collaboration, because that's the time we're in. And if we're all visualizing that together, then we're creating that. So when we step out into the new paradigm, we have this web of connectedness, of beauty, of consciousness. And it feels to me like that's exactly the message that the Lion Star people and so many of the Ascension guides are sharing right now. So thank you so much for sharing this, Sergi.
Thank you. Thank you. And thank you for the beautiful work that you do. I
Mm,
really like the way how you work with people, and there's something very grounded, and it's something that embodying the energy instead of floating around. Because if we really need, and we really need, and we if we really want a change, it has to be by anchoring these high frequencies down.
yeah.
It's not getting out of the body, and no, it's bringing them down and anchoring them, and infusing these new energies here. That's the way.
Thank you for recognizing that. And I know that's your message. It's my message to the embodiment. This is the time of
Yes.
embodying those frequencies so that we're generating those higher frequencies through our own chakra system into the earth, into the space around us, the people, the animals, the plants, so that we're sharing those. And that is very much my message too. It's not, ascension isn't out, it's in
Mm.
ascension, getting into the heart and opening up and bringing those energies in so that we can be fully present and enjoy this incarnation.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
My pleasure.
Thank
Thank you
you.
so much, Sergi. You're just such a
Thank
bright
you.
light. What you're bringing through is transformational and going to be so powerful for so many people.
Mm.
And I'm so happy that you shared it in English. So I look
Yes.
forward
Yes.
to more. Maybe we'll do more of these in the future.
Okay.
And just bless you and thank you for your work. I
Thank you.
really,
Thank you
really
very much.
appreciate you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Bye.
Okay. Bye bye.